Specialist at Washington State University, and her talk is called A Fresh Face, Murphy Produce Safety Research and Extension Program.
Hi, my name is Claire Murphy, and I'm an assistant professor and extension specialist in produce safety at Washington State University's Irrigated Agricultural Research and Extension Center in Prosser, Washington. Unfortunately, I was unable to be at the Ag Show this year, but I did want to take some time to introduce myself because I am a new face in the produce safety world here in Washington, and I wanted to make sure that everyone had the opportunity to learn a little bit about me so that I can help you. I'm here to support research and extension and technical assistance related to produce safety. And so that's what we're going to go over today, just as a little bit about my program. So some background on me. I got my undergraduate degree in food science and technology from the University of Delaware. And from there, I went to Virginia Tech and I spent a few years there and ended up getting 3 graduate degrees. I got a master's in food science, I got a PhD in food science, and then I got a master's of public health and infectious diseases. And then I was very fortunate right after my PhD ended, I was able to move here to Washington and start as an assistant professor and extension specialist focused on produce safety. I started with WSU in August of 2023, so I've been a little bit over a year now. And the program I run is 70% extension and 30% research. So I am located, like I said, at the WSU Irrigated Agricultural Research and Extension Center, which is located in Prosser, Washington. At this campus, we have faculty from Washington State University, the Washington State Department of Agriculture, and the United States Department of Agriculture Research Service. And so it's a really unique campus where we have that collaboration between 3 different industries, agencies, and have access to labs and fields and greenhouses, all of which everyone here is working on supporting the industry in research and extension activities. So looking at my program here at Washington State University, I have 3 research goals. So the first is to understand the ecology and epidemiology of foodborne pathogens in produce environments. So to me, this is the idea of understanding those hazards. And the second one is investigate technologies and strategies for system-wide reduction in risk, so mitigating risk. And then the third is to develop predictive models in an agricultural space in order to make data-driven decisions. But I did mention that my program is 70% extension, so it's a heavily extension-based appointment. And so to me, that the research that is being done by my program has to be supported by the extension. So the extension needs to be what is informing that research. So the extension is telling me what types of struggles is the industry facing with? What are the questions that they have? What are the technologies that they want to investigate? And that, to me, based on that technical assistance, those questions that I'm asking, my interaction with the industry is really what is informing that research. And that research really needs to be able to be applied pretty quickly after research is finished being conducted in order to support advancements for the safety of our industry. And so I want to talk about some of the ongoing activities that we have that do involve the small fruit industry. We have some work, of course, that is more broad, related to like agricultural water, or ones that are more focused on tree fruit. But then we're going to go over a few that are just ongoing right now, related to small fruit, and hopefully in the next few years you'll get to see some of the research outputs of these. So we have a project right now that we're working on where we're understanding UVC, the UVC technology, and how this can be used to reduce pathogens on the surface of blueberries and raspberries, both alone, and then blueberries and raspberries that are in water systems, such as those for going processed for frozen, and how water turbidity also impacts that. So we're looking at different dosages of UVC as well as different turbidities. We're also doing a project with both blueberries and raspberries where we're understanding how Listeria monocytogenes populations change when a berry is frozen but then thawed, and thawed at different temperatures like room temperature and refrigeration for different time, like 2 to 4 hours. in order to just understand how that population changes as we freeze and then thaw and then freeze and then thaw for some continuous cycles. I'm also working with a large group out of University of Tennessee, as well as some other collaborators across the country who are working to develop some essential oil, and that should say oil, not coil, my apologies, oil coatings for fresh fruits and vegetables. And so we are going to do some work with blueberries as well. So they're looking at some different encapsulation methods and different essential oil encapsulation coatings. And then those will be applied to fresh produce, and we'll do some study on how it impacts decay and pathogen survival. And then, of course, after that, we'll do some consumer acceptability testing to ensure that those coatings do not change any of the quality properties of our produce. And one last project I wanted to highlight is one that is being done here in Washington State on apples, but some of my collaborators in other states are using different commodities, and it's really focused on any product that has water in its post-harvest system. So we're developing and validating a protocol that can be used by industries that use post-harvest water to understand how to validate that their system is indeed working, that they have the right measurements, the right samples, everything they need to show maybe an auditor that their post-harvest water system is not a source of cross-contamination. And then as for my extension activities, I broke it down into 4 different categories. So we have existing and new programs. So I currently offer a lot of existing programming, such as Produce Safety Alliance grower training or Packing House HACCP, but I'm also working to develop new trainings to offer our state, including ones focused on the new agricultural water rule and how to do a risk assessment. Of course, extension publications and guidance documents. I think it's extremely important that all research becomes accessible to the audiences who will use it the most. So making sure that all of my peer-reviewed publications become extension documents, and also developing extension documents and guidance documents to fill some of the needs that the industry has questioned around. We spend a lot of time doing needs assessments as well. So understanding what the needs are of the produce industry here in Washington, to understand what kind of trainings I need to develop, what kind of extension document, where there are gaps in knowledges and gaps in resources that I can help fill. And then the last is obviously dissemination, and that's a little bit of what I'm doing today. So that's being involved in field days, attending different conferences and meetings across the state in the Pacific Northwest in order to disseminate this information to you, those who need it and want that data in order to apply it and use it to reduce your risk. So with that, I just wanted to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to introduce myself today. I am here as the Extension Specialist in Produce Safety for the state of Washington. My goal is to help you all with any of the challenges, any of the concerns, any problems that you might have related to produce safety. So please reach out if you have any questions. Here is my email, and I look forward to working with you all in the future.
All right, we actually do have Claire live streaming from Prosser, where she's based. If anyone has any questions, Claire, we've got a pretty small group here, so I'm gonna try and get you up here.
Yeah, that's okay. Can you all hear me?
Claire's talking. I don't think we can hear her. Sorry, Claire.
Okay.
1 minute. Okay, we want to say something, Claire, and see if we can.
Yeah, can you all hear me now?
Sorry. We can see your beautiful face. Vincent, do I need to? No. Sorry, we haven't had any streamed folks today, so we're a little on the lost side. But does anyone have any questions for Claire? I really enjoyed hearing about what you're up to over there.
Claire, say something.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Awesome. Beautiful. Well, I think you can see some of the audience. Oh, there's Karen. Yeah, does anybody have anything for Claire? Oh, we've got one. Let me just get a mic to you. Oh, Vincent's on his way.
Test.
Claire, in your water risk training session that you mentioned, are you going to have templates and that kind of stuff to help with setting up those risk assessments to walk growers through that?
Yeah, so our plan for that training, which is still in development, and we're going to do a pilot training of that in January, is to go through the rule, talk about what kind of resources can be used for some of those supplemental mitigation measures, how to think about risk. And then, yeah, we're going to walk through a few examples of here's a scenario, and I'm going to give photos and context for what the water system on a fake farm might look like. And then we'll walk through it together. And then I'll also provide some templates that individuals could use when they have that produce safety rule inspection. I will also mention that as part of that training, we do have a WSDA representative who will be there, which I think will be really beneficial. I know the WSDA has that approach of educate while they regulate. So having someone in the room who is going to be part of that team, I think will also help provide some of that guidance about what they will see, and if they see these templates, they know where they came from.
Anyone else? Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Claire, for your presentation and